What's up everybody, John from Old Redding Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how we turned our old patch of nasty brush and bushes and rocks and trees into this beautiful pasture to be. So if you've watched our past couple of videos, you know that we just paid an excavator to come out and clear some land for us. Well, so we had some of the land already cleared, but so what he did was he came in with his excavator and he pulled out all the rocks. As you can see, he added to our little stone wall here, and he did some cleaning up. So what I needed to do after that was prep this area for grass, because this is gonna eventually become pasture, and we're gonna connect it to the pasture that's right back there. You'll see there's a bunch of stuff in our way. Not quite done yet. You know, we had some difficulties and yada yada, but anyway, so first, what I had to do was I had to take down all of the trees that I was comfortable taking down. If you'll remember from a video several videos back, I tried to take down a big maple and it went the absolute wrong way, and so that was no good. So I took down about 9 trees, and the way I did it was, first of all, I got a new longer pull rope that's 200 feet. So I have a 100 foot and a 200 foot long rope. That way, if I'm ever taking down a big tree, I can be as far away from it as possible. And so what I did was I put lines up in 3 trees at a time, and then I would get my tractor all set. I would tension the rope a little bit on the tree to just make sure it was going sort of the direction that I wanted to. And then I would make the wedge cut, the front, and then I would make the back cut, but I wouldn't cut it all the way through. I would leave like a good, I forget what that's called, hinge, a good thick hinge on there. And then I would just run back out of the way of the tree to the tractor, and I would pull each of them down, because then with enough force, obviously just get it and it'll pull itself. And so that way it was very safe. It was very good. And it worked out really, really well. So I pulled down those trees, and then once I had the trees down, then I had to clean up the brush. And so in order to do that, all I did was I cut it into manageable sections, and then I came back with my wood chipper, and then I chipped it all up. And that wood chipper did a really good job. I did break a shear bolt, which is the first time I've ever done that. So I just had to run out and get a new one, but that's to be expected, and that's a little safety mechanism in there anyway. So that worked out pretty well. After that, I moved all the logs. So that's basically everything that I couldn't chip back there. And there's still some other stuff, because you'll see there's like a clear delineation, because I had already seeded and whatever over here, of like stuff that's up over there that was either too big to chip or it was just in the way. But anyway, so I moved the logs over here, and eventually I will use my dump trailer to bring them back into the woods to the wood yard. But for right now, they're just out of the way. Then my next step here was to go and actually clean up the alpaca pasture, because I try to time what I do with the tractor based on what implements I have on the back of it. And I had the wood chipper there, and I was like, you know what, we have shearing coming up. I want this pasture to be clean. And there's a bunch of trees and like little limbs and stuff that were down. So I went and cleaned it up. And I did that so that I could then go through and scrape the pasture with my landscape rake, and then pick up all of the manure and the dirt and whatever. And that's actually what I laid down here underneath what you see right now, which is just, I mean, this is just hay, and then there's seed. But so instead of going out and buying, 10 yards of compost or whatever, we can use our own compost. And that's actually what I'm sort of really excited about here, because we have that to finish this section. Then I have a whole big pile of compost that's ready to go, that should be able to finish this. So you can see it's like sort of right around here and then back over there. I think I have enough to do this entire section. like I said, eventually this is all gonna be pasture all over here. And now it's like a little bittersweet because this was, and I was thinking about it the other day as I was like chopping up the brush. It brings back memories of when we first bought this place 4 years ago now. Isn't that crazy? It's been literally 4 years since we moved in, starting in May. And like working on this area over here was the first thing we ever did. We came up every weekend, first thing Saturday morning, cutting down trees, bucking up logs, throw them in the back of the truck and driving them up to the top and stacking them so that people could come and take them away for free. Who would have thought that 4 years later, we would be here with like millable logs and a sawmill and like all this equipment and stuff and doing our own thing. But so, you know, a little sad that this is not the flower farm, but this is gonna be a really nice big pasture. And we had, there was grass that was growing over here at some point. So I don't know if Catherine's gonna wanna maybe we do some overseeding over here, but we were sort of hopeful that as long as we keep it mowed, it's not gonna grow anything crazy. And so we can hopefully just leave this. I mean, you can see, it's so nice to see some actual green around here. And so this green is great. And hopefully we have some more green growing in here soon. Because we had previously like a little path that went over here and then up the hill. But now this is just all gonna become pasture. And I'm gonna have to figure out exactly what the layout of the fencing is gonna be here, because I do want to keep some pathway in this way, because like, I mean, even just today, we actually got rid of some of our emus, or we sold some of our emus, which I'll talk about in another video, but it's helpful to sort of have like a little turnaround point for trailers and trucks over here. So I think it's probably gonna come, anyway, it'll be a little bit, I think, wonky of a layout, or maybe we can, we'll figure something out. But anyway, it's exciting to have this all set. And honestly, it took a lot of work to get this to look the way it is. But having the tractor really made all the difference in the world. Being able to use the wood chipper and then switch to the landscape rake and then have the bucket for flattening and then having the log grapple to move the logs. The other day, what was it? Oh, I lost a couple bolts on the log grapple. And so because of that, I couldn't use it, or I didn't want to use it. I probably could have, but you know, it was not ideal. But anyway, so I was using my pallet forks like back in the old days for moving logs, and it was just like, it was such a pain in the neck. It was crazy. This is really, you know, reminds me how great that log grapple was. But anyway, I could talk about log grapples all day for the rest of the day. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and wish us luck in growing grass in the future.